Hello, everybody. I do hope you guys have been well, and I am really happy to be back with you guys to do a Divine Masculine reading for you today. It is Monday, and you haven't seen us for about a week, and we do hope you know that we missed you very, very much, and we are very, very happy to be back. We had spring break and some things to deal with. So we took a little bit of time off, but we are back. We're super excited to be back. We have some really good ideas, and we hope that you guys are enjoying your spring breaks as well. You are here today because you have some questions and probably some concerns about what's going on in this significant relationship you have found yourself in with someone who you believe to be your twin flame. Most likely, you had probably never even heard of twin flames before you came across this person. And during the initial first few weeks to few months, you probably didn't even know what this connection was. It probably just seemed like a normal connection with someone that you had an interest in. But at some point in time, things took a unexplainable change in direction. And a huge part of this, came from something inside of you that changed. Once this change took place, like I bet you, if you guys look deeply at the experience that you had with this other person, you can pinpoint the time before they ran, okay? And just so you know, running is an illusion, but we'll go back to that in a second. But I bet you can pinpoint the time before they ran where something inside of you changed, where something felt different. And then as soon as you felt that thing that felt different, it caused you worry and concern. Some kind of a fear came up inside of you. And when that fear came up inside of you, you thought, oh my goodness, could that be true? Could that be real? Whatever it was, for each one of us, it's typically different. But whatever it was for you, it caused you to suddenly question internally, not externally, but internally, this connection that you had with this person. Some kind of a fear of loss, fear of abandonment, fear of them maybe potentially being with someone else, just fear of the loss of the relationship or fear of deception. It can be a lot of different things that could have surfaced. But whatever it was, it caused you to suddenly look at this person and think, can I trust them? Can I, am I safe in this situation? And as soon as you did that, suddenly, externally, things started to appear different with your twin, right? Maybe during this period of time, you started coming across like a lot of synchronicities, and suddenly you're interested in tarot when you've never in your life been interested in tarot before, or maybe only just slightly, but now you're kind of obsessed with it because you're trying to figure out what's going on. And what happens is this fear kicks in for us, and we reach out immediately, not necessarily overtly, but usually covertly. We try to reach out to the twin flame somehow and to see if everything's okay, right? Like we want to know if everything's okay. We want to know if they still feel the same about, us or the relationship. Like we're looking to somehow alleviate whatever this fear or insecurity is that has come up. And what ends up happening is as soon as we do that, like say we try to text them, then they don't text us back right away. And we're like, oh my gosh, I knew it. I knew something was wrong. And then we try to reach out, and all of a sudden they seem like they're not acting the same toward us. They're not responding the same way that they used to. They're not reacting to us in the same way. They seem like they're pulling back. And the more they seem like they're pulling back, and the more we start doing things to try to pull them back in toward us, the more they seem to pull away. Well, why is that? Well, that's one of the interesting things about the twin flame dynamic. The second that there's fear inside of you, that fear will be reflected in your relationship with them. And your mind automatically thinks it's them. It's them. They're the one who's acting weird. Is it now? Is it them that's acting weird? Think about that for a little while, you guys. Try to pinpoint that initial turn where that fear kicked in and suddenly you started looking at that relationship differently, and then the relationship validated to you exactly what you were fearing. This is important, okay? This is an important thing for you as a twin flame to acknowledge and look at, because this journey is all about your spiritual awakening, and you have to wake up to the fact that you are a creator, and your twin flame is a catalyst to help you understand that. At the bottom of the deck today, we have Knight of Cups. Is this focusing properly? Why does this not seem like it's focusing properly here? Knight of Cups. Okay, well, you guys are just going to take my word for it. I think it's blurry, but Knight of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck today. All right, let's see what this means. Well, as we were saying, Divine Masculine seems to be a little bit of a moody kind of jerk lately. And that's the overall, unfortunately, for the reading. Although every single one of us has experienced the Divine Masculine in that way. Something seems off, something doesn't seem right. They're not making sense anymore, and they're just acting very strange. In recent past, Divine Masculine has struggled with commitment issues. They have not been able to really commit themselves to anyone or anything, especially to themselves and their own hopes and desires and dreams. They have definitely struggled in this arena. They don't really know how to apply themselves properly. They're really great at starting things, but not so great at finishing things. And so committing to something is something that Divine Masculine has struggled with their whole life, and it's surfaced in different ways with different people in different situations. It might not always look the same, but it's the underlying root cause is a fear of committing to something, and that usually comes from a deep-seated insecurity within one's self. In Divine Masculine's karmic situation, the reason that they were so attracted to this particular person that this is representing is that they possessed something that Divine Masculine felt that they lacked, which was stability and an ability to be able to apply themselves properly. Whereas Divine Masculine has oftentimes struggled with commitment issues, feeling stagnant, not going forward, not moving forward, and not really being able to apply themselves. And so they were attracted to something that was kind of the opposite of themselves in this particular person, because they needed to learn some things from this karmic situation about stability and being able to be reliable. And this person represented that. They were helping Divine Masculine discover these lost aspects of self. When they met you, Divine Feminine, this triggered something in them with the Hermit card right here. Spiritual growth, going within, really looking at these things that have been holding them back. And this started with the meeting of you. And so they know that somehow this has something to do with you, but they don't know why it has something to do with you. And if anything, it actually, in many ways, because they didn't feel ready and prepared, and again, they've been struggling with commitment issues, they kind of like took off and disappeared on you. Or once the initial attraction and what some people call the bubble love phase, which I hate that term, I just have to say. But once that kind of completed, that initiation phase completed, divine masculine ran away. Now, the reason why this took place is because you served as a catalyst and a reflection for them, and they served as a catalyst and a reflection for you. And what that did is it showed divine masculine all of their fears and all of the things that they have been struggling with. It helped them to go to some of the deeper layers of where that was actually coming from. And so in looking at all of these things, like, oh my gosh, I have commitment issues, I have a hard time, following through on things, I'm not ready for this. It caused them to run away, which is actually following the same patterns. But this is all things that divine masculine needed to see. So things have to play out in the 3D sometimes in order for us to be able to see our own shadows. They have to surface. And that happens through relationships, through circumstances, through experiences, and you played a very important role in that for divine masculine, as divine masculine did for you, divine feminine. So divine masculine knows you're special. They know that, but they're not really sure. Like, there's just a lot of confusion. There has been a lot of confusion for divine masculine regarding that. Currently, these things that divine masculine has not been willing to look at in the past, but is now being forced to look at, the procrastination and the lack of follow through has started to weigh heavily on divine masculine. Look at all of these issues that they're carrying along with them right now, and it's really weighing them down. It's all this unfinished business, and because they haven't taken care of it, at the time that they should have, now they're carrying a lot of different issues around simultaneously that need to be dealt with. And so that's why this has been so important for divine masculine, is it's causing them to go boom. It's like that thing, that tower moment, in a way that has caused divine masculine to redirect and have to like deal with these things. So they're heading in the direction of karma right now. Rather than running away from it, they're heading towards it in order to be able to grow and develop and self-actualize into what they've always been meant to be. Now, in this karmic situation that they've been dealing with, there is a lot of family involved, and there's a bond there that goes beyond just feelings and emotion. With these two cards, I see that, divine masculine is definitely wanting something solid and something stable, which is what they originally were attracted to this person for. However, with Queen of Wands in reverse, or I'm sorry, Queen of Cups in reverse, divine masculine is really kind of smothering this person. And this person is also smothering divine masculine. The difference in the way that the two are is causing a lot of resistance. And as a result, there's a lot of clinging and neediness and a lack of trust between these two people. And that's not one person's fault more than the other. It's that they initially came together to learn something, and that's what this is for. But it's not meant to last forever. And when we don't let go of things that are no longer serving us after the lesson has been learned, then we don't know, then we start to experience like a lot of resistance and a lot of chaos, because it's not meant to be anymore. And that state will remain until we let something go that is no longer serving us. Now, unfortunately, divine masculine is still dealing with a lot of this old behavior. And because they're still kind of going through all this karma stuff, they're just not in a position to be able to approach this relationship with you with any kind of a healthy mind and a healthy spirit, which means that life needs to work on them a little bit longer before they're going to be ready for the kind of connection that they have with you, divine feminine. And this is where it really comes in handy to understand what this journey is and to trust it. Trust it, because the one that questions it isn't you. That's the mind, the ego. And that's what this journey is waking you up from, so that you can master over it, because you are the twin flame. You are the soul. And so trust that. The soul, of course, knows more than the mind and the body. The mind and the body are finite. They're like children in this world. The soul is like, that eternal parent. It's there to guide, and that's what you need to wake up from. You need to wake up from the dream of mortality and recognize that you are a soul here experiencing mortality, and you need to, drive your own ship, drive your own car. Don't let the car drive you. So trust your journey. Just allow it to happen. Know that what's happening with divine masculine, divine feminine is exactly what needs to happen in order to get the both of you to the destination that you are meant for. Unfortunately, in the near future, divine masculine is still going to have some hurdles and some, blows to their ego that they need to go through in order to self-actualize. Our own awakenings, sometimes they come through adversity, right? And that's what happens. It's we go through these difficult things, and then suddenly, boom, it wakes us up, right? And, it's just like when you're asleep at night and you're having a nightmare. And it's so intense that it just wakes you up, like it's too much. And so your body just wakes up. Well, it's kind of the same thing for the soul. If life gets so difficult, suddenly we wake up, and we realize that there's something more. Now that process we can feel a little groggy at first because we don't really know, right? And that's what's going on with you, divine feminine. You're probably a little ahead in this with your divine masculine. However, that's okay. It doesn't really matter, because they're where they're supposed to be and you're where you're supposed to be. And never underestimate what is happening in the dynamic between the two of you. If you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe this video. It really, really helps us. We're trying to grow this channel, and we really want to be able to give you the content that you guys deserve. So if you could do that, we would be very, very grateful and appreciative. For a period of time, some of these bumps in the road are going to make divine masculine feel very connected and bonded in the future with this person. And they are going to reach certain heights in their relationship that are going to seem like everything is going well for them. And that could cause you to feel some disharmony and fear, divine feminine. But recognize that what happens between the two is exactly what's meant to happen. And maybe there's certain things within yourself, divine feminine, that need to be looked at in order for you to be ready for this relationship as well. Letting go of expectations of what this relationship is supposed to be and what it's supposed to look like and who the two of you are supposed to be with and how things are supposed to happen is something that the divine feminine needs to really let go of. The divine feminine needs to trust the soul, that the soul is going to take the divine feminine into that place of bliss and nirvana if divine feminine can trust the soul. But if we're focused on what's going on with the divine masculine and we're in a place of fear and worry, then that's exactly like what I spoke about before we even started this reading, what pushes divine masculine away. Now, I really want you guys to be careful with what I just said, because divine feminines can interpret that everything that they're doing is everything that's happening, and if they're not together and they're not in a romantic relationship with their divine masculine, that's somehow their fault. That's not true at all. It's not true at all. It's letting go and trusting the soul to bring you what's best for you. And right now, I promise you, that's what the soul is doing. It's bringing you what's best for you. It's bringing divine masculine what's best for you. If you can look at divine masculine and say, oh, adversity is helping them, then maybe you could look at yourself and say adversity is helping you as well. Two sides of the same coin, adversity and also what we would, call success. they're both helping you. They're both leading you to where you want to be. Trust me on that. Trust your soul on that. Trust God on that. Place nothing between you and God. Place nothing between you and your own connection to source. Not even your divine masculine, not even your parents. No master, no guru, no prophet, no sage should come between you and your own personal connection to God, or some people call God source, or some people call God universe. I feel that God is a better word for that because it encompasses all things. And it is the spark, the initiator, the creator that creates us in its image, right? In order to be creators ourselves. And this is all happening to bring you to that place, to wake you up, divine feminine, to the fact that you are the creator of your life. And when you realize that you're holding that wand and you've been misusing it, now you can create with clarity, with understanding. But this process has to take place in order to help you get there. And this is part of that. So when things are bad for divine masculine, if you're, secretly, excited about that and then sad when things are good for them, what does that say about what's going on inside of you? Right? We should never hope for the demise of someone else and suffer because of their success. If that's what's happening with you and your divine masculine, I urge you and beg you to look within so that you can resolve whatever that conflict is within you, so that you can get to a place where you can live your best life, divine feminine. That's what you deserve. It's what I want for you desperately, because I love you guys, truthfully. 22 in reverse, 2 and 2, 2 of swords and 2 of wands. This shows me that there is still some work to be done between divine masculine and divine feminine. And that those two energies, those two internal energies that we all carry within us, which represent the masculine and the feminine energies, the duality of life, right? We all possess these inside of us. Inner union is what creates outer union, okay? And that's why I've said a lot of these things. If you go back and listen to this again, you'll understand what I mean by that. At least I hope that you will. But inner union is what creates outer union. And inner union can only take place when the balancing of these two energies, this understanding and this belief and this faith comes to fruition within you. And that trust inside of you. So divine feminine, divine masculine, and you, divine feminine, which are on the physical plane, the outer, there's so many ways that this surfaces, these two energies. But in the twin flame dynamic, it's the positive and the negative polarity. In the physical form, it's the masculine and the feminine. But on a twin flame level, I want you to understand this has nothing to do with physical gender, okay? It is also a representation of that duality. But in the twin flame dynamic, it isn't about gender. It's about energy. It's about positive and negative energy. And I don't mean like positive happy and negative sad. That's not what I mean. What I mean is the flow of energy, the way that the battery works, the way that the torus field around the earth works. There is a torus field around you as well, and it consists of two energies, and you need to balance those energies out in order to be healthy. And there's also those two energies between the two twin flames. It's another torus field, right? Where we are multi-dimensional beings, okay? And it surfaces in physical reality in many different ways. So keep going down the rabbit hole of spirituality to learn as much as you possibly can, divine feminine. It's only going to help you. It might feel confusing and it might seem like it brings up more questions at first than it does answers. But if the questions exist within you, God will deliver the answers in his or her divine timing. Okay? I love you guys. I'm going to do a quick oracle card for you. All right, I hope you guys really enjoyed this reading today. Again, if you can, please like and subscribe while I pull this oracle card for you. If you guys have questions ever about the reading, or if it ever brings up any questions for you, please feel free to post those questions in the comments below. While we are still a small channel, I can usually answer a lot of those questions. And if you scroll through our videos, you'll see a lot of people have answered questions, and we do give some fairly in-depth answers. So please, by all means, feel free to participate in these readings by asking questions in the comments below. And if you guys would like to set up a one-on-one with either myself or Cam, in the description box below, you can find links in order to be able to do that. And we would be more than happy to accommodate and help you on your journey. All right, the oracle card today, Building Atoms. Card number 40. Let's see what this means. All right. Everything is connected by the same building blocks of matter. You are electric and vibrating in motion. Being stagnant in your beliefs and growth is unnatural, divine masculine. Building and changing is natural. There is room for infinite variety. Trust that, divine feminine, okay? With this stuff over here that might cause you fear, look at that, okay? Many ancient cultures suspected the world was made up of building blocks that couldn't be seen. While the elements of earth, air, fire, and water were part of their thinking, many also thought that even these formidable elements were constructed from something. The ancient Greek philosophers Leucippus and his pupil Democritus suggested around 450 AD that atoms existed. They were infinite, and that there must be different kinds to reflect the object that was the end result. Indian and Islamic scholars also reported on the ideas of atoms, but it wasn't until the 16th and 17th centuries the notion became a serious field of study with Bernier, Boyle, and Newton. Oops, I bumped the camera. Sorry, guys. The last 200 years have given us a clearer idea of what atoms are made of. Each atom is composed of a nucleus and one or more electrons bound to the nucleus. The nucleus is made up of protons, subatomic particles with a positive charge, and neutrons, subatomic particles with no net charge that are slightly bigger than protons. The boundaries of an atom are not well defined, so they are able to connect and vibrate. We use a scanning tunnel microscope to view surfaces at an atomic level. The idea that we are all connected, or that everything is part of a whole, is somehow born out in quantum physics. It is not just some romantic ideal, but is something solid. Now, this is such a beautiful thing for you guys to get, because if you look at a macrocosmic and microcosmic level, an atom actually resembles like the planetary system and the way that it moves around the sun. You are made up of these things. The macrocosm and the microcosm, it's all fractals of the same, universal blueprint that we're all a part of, that we're all made of. And you, the consciousness, are something so much more amazing and deep than even that. And when you understand that you are like the conductor, because you are the consciousness, if you get down to that depth, which is what your awakening is really supposed to be about, divine feminine, you're the conductor. And when you conduct, the atoms and the particles of this universe will dance for you and show up for you in the ways that you want. That's what it means to step into your power and recognize that the creator that created all of this for you created you in his image or her image, right? Whatever you choose to believe it to be, his or her, it doesn't matter. You were created by the creator in the creator's image to be a creator. And you're in creator school right now. You're in the university of the soul, in order to learn how to wield that power properly, gracefully, and through what you are, which is love. Fear is there to teach you. Love is what you are. So step into that power, Divine Feminine. That's what it was made for. That's what you're made for. That's who you are. And when you do, you are limitless. And that's the truth of who you really are. I love you guys. Please like and subscribe. Let me know if you guys liked this reading. I really enjoyed it, and I'm honored to be able to be here to do it for you. Take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow.